LED bulbs are not required around. So that's the takeaway which I get. And what Rajdeep mentioned initially, that people losing interest, I'll pick on from there, and that's what the theme which even Prakash had talked over phone. So I asked Rajdeep, why do you think I would be the best person to come up and speak here as a chief guest? Rajdeep's answer was that you could be inspirational to the club members. I see enough inspiration around, reasonable enough inspiration around, and charged environment in terms of the way Prakash delivered a speech and the way Rajdeep has actually set the tone initially. But I still have few things to share in terms of the concern which I saw when Prakash mentioned about newbies coming up and taking limelight and the accomplished speakers coming back again to re-accomplish something new. That's where I'll keep the focus on when I speak for the next few minutes. Steve Jobs in 1983 talked about the future isn't going to be what it was earlier. And the context that he was talking of the change which Prakash talked about, he actually was talking about that whatever you do, there will be something which will be surpassed. Somebody will come, something new will come up, and you will be irrelevant if you don't come up with something new all the time. And that's what he talked about in 83. You can actually Google up and find out. There's a speech which is available on the Google. A fantastic speech which talks about why it is important for us to be looking forward all the time. Using that, I'll switch over to a difficult profession called academics, from which Rajdeep belongs to. Academicians have this interesting thing that they have to constantly publish. If you are not publishing, you are not a worthy academician. That's the way academic. It's a brutal, cruel field. Your fellow professionals will actually scrutinize you. What are you researching on? What are you publishing? If you are not researching, if you are not publishing, whatever you may have accomplished in the past, you don't stand comparison for that particular year. So there is always a pressure in academics to keep thawing at something new. Decades of research, longitudinal, sometimes you don't make it. But the fact is, you need to keep going at it again and again. And that's what could be the tone. This is a space, it's like a community. Toastmasters is like a community. A community is run out of passion, not by somebody saying, forcing people to come into a limelight. All of you have come here on your volition. I'm sure when volition is driving you to come here, you need to take that one single step of making the community successful, which means all community members have roles apart from the committee members. The role of keeping the community alive. Today, if you look at Bangalore as a city, all of us crib about traffic, right? Morning 7 to 8:30, I would suggest just be observing how people drive two-wheelers and four-wheelers. Parents, including some of us sitting in this room, dropping their kids just 100 meters the wrong side. Every day we set an example to the people around us as to what we should be doing or should not be doing. And that's where I'll connect it back to what Prakash is looking at. Each one of us has a role. The accomplished Toastmasters have a role to come back again and again and deliver box office hits here every day, every time you have a session. That will be the inspiration for younger Toastmasters who just joined the club as newbies to be able to rise up to that inspiring environment that you guys create. Unless the distinguished Toastmasters come up and deliver every day, you will not have stars coming in and shining again. A community will sustain if everybody thinks, what if? How many of us actually think of what if the sun rises doesn't tomorrow? Doesn't rise tomorrow. And it stops rising for this because they said, today I've done my job. And goes on a holiday. What if the pilot that landed you safely today said that mission accomplished? Tomorrow onwards I'll experiment with the ways I land. I'll take it easy. What if you go into a surgery and the doctor says, look, I am the accomplished surgeon, 100 successful surgeries, let me experiment. Or let me relax a little bit. What if the ATC, the guys who help land the aircraft and help the aircraft take off, decide to take it a little easy? Life doesn't become simple. Everybody is expected to play a role, and that role leads into the shining stars coming year after year, so that the community itself can thrive. And that's essentially where the focus is. As far as the role is concerned, the best example is somebody who lives in every household, who is one person who never goes on a holiday.
God.
Mother. Housewife, yeah, the combination of everything. A mother is one who never goes on a holiday, never believes the fact that the day is done. Every day, she comes back, gives her best, and continues giving her best despite the fact that the expectations which Rajdeep was talking of are appreciated, met, unmet. And that's what Toastmasters, irrespective of whether distinguished or newbies, need to rise up to the role as far as the Toastmasters expectation is concerned. The larger context is the challenge why we will not reach there, to stand up into the limelight. You need to create space. Our society has given us three things. One, if you look at the education, the way we try solving problems. The way of solving problems is that there is a problem statement, we make some assumptions, and we try figuring out a best possible solution. A little bit of mathematics and science teaches us something called Gaussian distribution. And the third element, we see our parents prioritizing. The parents, teachers, and the community at large prioritizing. But unfortunately, we don't prioritize for ourselves, we actually prioritize for being nice in front of others. Which essentially means I will refuse to prioritize things which I possibly think will lead me to failure. If I prioritize things which will help people, you will never ever look at saying that, look, if I fail, doesn't matter, somebody learns from my failure. People need to come in and stand up here to fail, because if you don't fail, you'll never ever understand what is it that you will need to polish a little bit. No amount of reading, no amount of individual feedback on a one-to-one basis will help, except standing there and you yourself realizing where you need to focus on. Because the world will have different perspectives and different expectations, as Rajdeep mentioned. You need to have your own expectations. And those are the expectations which will help you stand, come into the limelight on your own, rather than shepherded into this place. Simplify, there's a lot of things. There's what is common between a person like an Obama, an Einstein, or a Steve Jobs. Anybody in the audience? Of course, there are several other people who would have some commonalities with them. Obama is known more for his blues or his grey suits. Einstein used to wear only green suits. Steve Jobs, his turtleneck t-shirt and his jeans. All his work life, that was his dress. The reason is, they wanted to focus on things which they wanted to do, not which actually helps them look better. If you have to decide, you have to save your decision making for the best. That is what people focus on when they really are short of time. Where do you choose off time to get time for you to come here and be in the limelight? Whether you have to write that speech, whether you have to perform that speech here, go back and practice and come back, you need time. Time will come only when you are able to figure out which are the things which shouldn't be on your plate and which are the things which you should focus on for that particular phase of your life. Of course, things will change, so it's not that you continue focusing on the same thing all through. I'll leave Couple of examples and anecdotal stories from how people actually look at opportunities. The reason is, this is an opportunity, as Prakash was saying, that he'll leave a spread. Of course, the spread connects to the dinner waiting for you, but then the larger thing in terms of the opportunities. Greece still continues to give us trouble in terms of how the economy is behaving. Couple of years back, when Greece was not really doing well, the government there decided to tax entertainment. See, all the theatres, whether it was plays, whether it was cinema, the government exorbitantly taxed it. Now, as people who are running theatres, you have the choice of actually shutting them, which most of the Southeast Asian people will do. And there's research to prove that. The Spanish guys, the theatre guys, they figured out a way of saying that, look, they announced in the newspapers, if you buy a kilo of carrots, you get a ticket to the theatre free. Because agriculture produced was tax free. So tickets were never sold, but there were the audience in the theatres full, all legal. So you have to think how to actually get your goal done, how to actually stand in there, continue standing in there. Sometimes when things are not going fine, these are opportunities for you to actually recoup and figure out the different ways of looking at things. The same Spain, a little less than a year back, again, the government refused to come down with the taxation on the entertainment and the theatre. They continued with that. So another chap came up with an interesting idea, saying that they came up with a concept called pay per laugh. You don't pay a ticket up front, so there is no price for the ticket. Have you ever heard this? You walk into the theatre, nobody asks you for a ticket. You go in and sit in. Right in front of you, there is an iPad. An iPad which is going to look at how many times you frown, how many times you laugh, and how many times you don't make any emotional gesture. The number of laughs that you do, the iPad has analytics to capture, and right after the theatre show is over, the bill gets printed right in front of you. So, if you don't laugh, you don't pay any money. The number of laughs that you derive out of it. I think Prakash and Radeep have set up a tone for you to come up and create those opportunities for yourself in terms of shining and continuing to shine for this Toastmaster Club. I would request you, all of you newbies and the accomplished Toastmasters, to be like the ice doctors. Ice doctors is a term familiar with some of us not. So ice doctors are the Sherpas who help people climb Mount Everest. They're called as ice doctors fondly by the climbers. The reason is, some of these guys in chilling cold, before the season starts, walk up Mount Everest and create spaces where climbers can walk through the gorges and the crevices and set up all the ladders and everything. And they know the Everest like the back of their hand. And without them, you never go along on an expedition. And they called ice doctors for the simple reason is, they know where the snow is strong enough for you to actually continue, where there's a crevice right in front of you. So just tap and figure out whether it's solid enough for you to continue walking or not. I request you, all of you, to be those ice doctors. You need to create the path for the newbies to come in and stand and take on responsibility of shepherding what you've been doing successfully for the last couple of years. Finally, I leave you with an experiment that I had gone through as a child in a kindergarten school. The first session in my kindergarten class was a teacher gave us a small sheet of paper, put a piece of gum. Those days Post-its didn't exist. Put up a piece of gum, a small stick of gum around it, all tiny dots, asked us to jump as high as possible towards the wall and stick it onto the wall. We did that. She gave a piece of paper again with a little bit of glue stuck to the back. Said, now redo it. So almost all of us were one notch above than the first paper. It was too small a lesson each for us to realize the lesson of that. But she left a mark. We couldn't connect it to what it was, but at that time it just said that we felt better. We felt nice that we could do something. I leave that story with you that every time you set a mark for yourself, you are actually leaving a benchmark to surpass, and that will get surpassed only if the momentum continues. The momentum will only continue if people come in and continue performing, and no better person to learn from than mothers that we encompass every day in our lives. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.